Good afternoon and welcome into the SPL. Finch here, joined by Gormizer. And guys, I'm excited for the games that we've got lined up today. I mean, the SPL so far has been about the most competitive state that I've ever seen it at, Gormizer. I really don't see any reason why it's going to slow down. Well, can Renegades maintain their momentum, or will Obey find that first W? Let's find out with Game 1.
Lazarus already level 5, they're level 3. That's huge gank potential. We see him waiting for it now. The second that Lazarus goes in the air, Renegades are going to have to aggress.
Through the Cosmos, down he slams. A nice double jump out, though, from Obey. Might just save their lives. Wow, he's taking so much damage. A shell may have just saved the Hu Yi's life. But early presence from Renegades, maybe now countered out by Obey. Weaken will blink his way forward. Wolfie has rotated and found the first blood in this game. What a rotation from Obey, and they strike first.
Had he waited for Jake to move up, force out a jump himself, it might have gone a lot easier.
Well, Lasper, realizing that Wowie's beads are now down, will return over to the long lane, and that's a free kill for the Ratatosker. Inbound now on retreat. No rotation from Obey to save him this time around. Still has the leap, so that will maybe get him out safely. It's like literally one ward from Obey, and maybe Vision Shard on the side protected them there. Jake getting aggressive. Wowie, he's taking so much damage. Up and over goes Barracuda, but he's not able to finish off the kill. Wowie has turned this one around. Barracuda looking a little bit worse for wear as well. Lasbra with the Cosmos, but that'll just be to get a little bit closer to the purple buff.
We saw that Lazarus went in the air there. It looked like he might be looking to clean up Wowie or even inbound, but he noticed the rotation.
Awesome, Jake blinks through once more. Venenu here to fight. Weaken will sidestep a few of the Tycho drum shot. Barracuda has returned. And that's Jake drop shipping the rest of Renegades back behind a couple members of Obey here. Barracuda's continuing his onslaught. Dash forward from Ven. Body blocks from inbound will save Wolfie, but just for a moment is awesome. Jake will move forward, and Lasper's rotated elsewhere to put down Wowie. And this is what I'm talking about. Obey get themselves a kill, and then a few moments later, Renegades pull this early game right back. But they don't seem to be wanting to push the issue that much. Take the right fights instead of any fight, you know?
As you say that, though, Jake diving into the tower and takes any fight that comes his way. But that's what's going to happen. Barracuda's, what, 3-2 levels up already, 12 minutes into the game. It's really on Weaken to start rotating in and abuse this aggressive positioning from the Renegades, and it seems like that's what's going to happen.
Now Weaken finally rotating to this long lane. Decent Sunbreaker down will chip away some damage, but Weaken wants some more. He's immediately stunned down by Jake. Airstrike through from Barracuda will find the execute as Weaken returns to the black and gray screen for the next 28 seconds. And Jake was looking for a little extra on Wowie as well. I suppose that's on me. I'm saying they're taking the right fight instead of any fight, but it's Jake on a tower line on a Horus. You seem to have to expect that, as Lasber will now rotate his way over. Stunned down onto the Ratatosker. Jake blinks through, misses the dash. Wowie, though, uses the bead, so wouldn't have stunned down anyway. Into the Cosmos is up. Where will Lasbra drop down? It's elsewhere. Off to the red buff side he goes. It's another couple of kills for the Renegades.
But Ducky's on this side of the map, and he tries to engage onto Ven. The chase is on.
Yeah, now we're starting to see the solo laners rotate on through. Awesome Jake looking for some body blocks from Barracuda, and he's got him. Wowie into the dirt once more. Wolfie, though, another good rotation. Will grab the second kill of the game for this Merlin. Renegades maybe sensing they're a bit pinched in here as Obey look to four-man collapse on this long lane. Weaken will get the kill. Barracuda low mana but full health. Has SOT rotated through, so maybe a bit of protect the president action here with Ducky jumping on in. And at this rate, maybe the move speed will just be enough to get them out. Lasbra close by as well. Could be a bait. Be careful here, Obey. Don't move yourself too far in. Looks like the tier 1 tower will be that line.
And it gets Obey a pretty clean win.
Barracuda, the only one lurking by. Obey locks down the Fury. Watch out for the drop ship in. Barracuda unable to make it away as Weaken will take him out of the sky. Lasbra is here to play, though, and Wowie learns that one the hard way. Ducky, half HP, does have Bat Out of Hell, but what awaits on the other end? It's SOT who will look to move back in. Inbound will leap over and disarm just for a second. It is Fury locked down here by Obey, but you lose one member on either side as a result. And that's a win, maybe, here for Obey in the mid-game. It tends to be kind of Devos into Rage, maybe looking like an Xe or King Size or something after that. Might get a little extra gold here. Weaken has blinked through. Barracuda taken back. Watch out for Lasbra. He'll drop down. onto Weekend, but Weekend will be able to leap his way away. Inbound has gotten the kill. Wally makes it 2 now for Obey. It looked like an engagement the Renegades were happy with, but that is dashed by the wayside as Obey rotate through and find themselves a couple of kills. This is a big one for Obey. SOT is in range. Barracuda was as well. That's a blink into the back line from Ducky. Barracuda doing his best to kite on backwards. The airstrike will do plenty good a job of that. Solo or Troll was in range. Obey make no mistake of it this time, though.
Obey is looking so much more cohesive today. Even last week at this phase of the game, they were just meandering around the map, but now they force a fight around gold.
It's a good engagement by Jake. Down comes slamming Lasbra. Ducky has lost half of his health in the meantime. And look at SOT and Jake playing deep in the backlines, but they're all alone. Inbound is able to help out the rest of Obey to turn around the damage. 5 members strong still from Obey. If you're Renegades, you're missing awesome Jake. Fury now being started up, pulled back by Obey. Barracuda engaged on, but shrugs that one off. Has to use the beads. Won't have that for the remainder of this fight. SOT gets plenty of shielding, my goodness, and will walk his way out of that one. Lasbra still deep in the backline now as well. Renegades just kind of going in one after one, and as a result, Obey are going to get another Fury in this game.
Now, Renegades have to get something back on the map. Pyromancer's pulled, but the entirety of Obey is already there.
Rotation is there. Barracuda underneath the Pyromancer. Ducky will jump in, unable to steal it away, but maybe you steal the fight away with a kill onto Barra. And that's how this one starts, as Obey will continue a 5v4 advantage. Same as the Gold Fury fight. Now you're looking at this one over by the Pyromancer. A nice bounce there from Wowie, but continued patience. Smart plays from Obey will back themselves off. But now you have to be concerned if you're the Renegades about this Fire Giant.
Renegades are still relatively healthy. The only ultimate consumed is SOTs. They could engage onto this. It looks like Obey is not willing to take it down to a who can confirm better fight. They're still looking to fight anyone that moves in, and that's what I like to see. But with Bobby transforming right now, the burn potential on this Fire Giant goes through the roof.
A little bit higher. Watch out for Lasbra. Might make his way into the back line alongside awesome Jake. Down he crashes. Wow, he catches the brunt of the damage. They haven't been able to finish him off. Instead, it's Weekend that turns this fight around. Lasbra takes a back seat. It's a 4v5 one more time. 3v5, rather, as Barracuda will be trying to come back from base. Has a little bit of extra fight rejoin potential, but Venenu has the opposite as Ducky has dashed his way in. Second kill of the game now for this Camazotz. SOT stunned down. SOT being burned away. The leap may save your life, but it's only for about half a second. A double kill from Ducky. This fight is put to bed, and Obey Alliance come out on top.
The only ones really in position to defend right now are Jake and Barracuda. Lazarus a little bit far away in base.
And Venenu is still dead, as well as SOT. Weekend will blink his way forward, grab a little bit of damage. Barracuda being sat on in these previous few fights. Yeah, the FG, that one got taken by Obey in the backline. Weekend is going to dash his way, maybe out to safety here. Lasbra will do the same with his ultimate. And it's a Fire Giant and still continued safety for Obey. Renegades, I'm not sure. I mean, you're still fighting against the full 5-stack Fire Giant team in Obey. I don't know how heavily you look to maybe defend. Awesome Jake, though, disagrees. Finds a little knock-up in the back line. SOT will jump in as well. The transformation from inbound is there. Lasbra will crash down, find plenty of damage, and the kill onto Wolfie. The 3-4-man front line continues. Ratatosker. That's a nice double for Lasbra. And that's Weekend now doing his best to even get one kill on Jake, and he's able to find it. A jump on out from inbound, but is it enough to save his life? Ducky rejoins the fight to the tune of a kill now onto Venenu. Ducky, though, will take a back seat as a result of Barracuda being left alive, finally getting some stacks on that rage, finally getting himself involved in some of these fights. Barracuda stays alive, but it's a 3-for-2 this time in favor of the Renegades.
Or you separate a little bit so that their engagement factor wouldn't have been so strong, but instead Obey stick their heels in deep, sit in front of that tier 2. They take it away for themselves, but get picked off 3-for-2, and now Inbound in a little bit of trouble as well.
Inbound is just trying to delay this Fury, and he was at least able to do that, but is it worth it if you end up dying in the meantime? I'm not so sure. That's going to be a heavy stagger, just as the rest of Obey is back and respawning. Inbound will leap away. How much attention, though, can you pull away now, maybe, is the next question. If you're Inbound, could actually get out alive, and we'll have a leap off of cooldown here in a few more seconds, but the corner is in, and the leap is in as well, and actually Lasbra will use the ultimate, and he's going to continue aggressing, but look at this. This is what I was concerned about. Lasbra finally gets the kill onto Inbound, but it's pulled so much attention of the Renegades away. Obey, they'll take down the Oni Fury. How about the fight on the back end? Barracuda is here, and he's got some stacks on his rage, so he's going to hurt plenty with that in the Wind Demon as well. Weekend cannot participate due to a red health bar. It's a kill, yeah, on the inbound, but you've lost the Oni Fury if you're the Renegades. I think Obey, and we've maybe mentioned Ducky a decent amount, Obey, Weekend, the rest of the guys on Obey have done a great job of mitigating the early presence that Barracuda had, and they'll continue now to look for a fight underneath the right side tier 2 tower. Lasbra will engage, maybe. Just trying to pick his time right, and instead it'll be a disengage. Another smart play, maybe back towards the FG, but watch out for Jake.
Yeah, Jake could easily fly in here, but he doesn't have the backup from his team. Barracuda is sitting healthy. This is not going to be an easy Fire Giant.
Ooh. Barracuda got locked down, but so did Weekend. Jake looking to finish off the kill. Who else but Ducky on top of Barracuda? No more Jingwei now as the Renegades are in full-on retreat mode. Jake will have to blink his way away, try to dash out of this fight, but won't be far enough as Wolfie will burn him on down. Lasbra might be a foregone conclusion. Will turn around to kill. Nice play from Laz, but it's only Weekend who ends up falling. 4 members versus 2. Obey in the advantage.
Ducky is playing so constantly aggressive against Renegade's carries, and it's kind of due to the build that he decided to go for. Brawler's Beat Stick online, Void Shield online, Heartseeker. He's essentially another assassin, but that added level of survivability of having a leap, having a CC immune ultimate that removes you from the playfield, means that he can play aggressive with this less tanky build, finds the immediately pick up in the Venen.
No.
Now, SOT's on the back end, but what's he going to do into this Fire Giant push? He's the only one
I don't know.
alive.
Myth, you say that, but we've seen some nutty steals so far this year. Obey will not allow that to happen. SOT, the attempt was there, but Obey take away the Fire Giant. 35 minutes in, 10k gold in the lead. Fire Giant buff on 4 members. Only 1 tower remaining for the Renegades. This seems like it's Obey's game for the taking, if you're Ducky. Now we're going to get our look at the Obey Alliance siege. They backed off, regrouped just a little bit. Fire Giant still with another 3.5 minutes on. Watch out for Jake, though. The dropship is there. You gotta be kidding me. Renegades have found the back line. Rasbra is looking for the up and down it goes, but Aegis out by Wolfie. The collapse is in. Lasbra deletes the Merlin off the map, but Wowie will turn one around. Lasbra burned down now by inbound. 3 members of Renegades suddenly on the retreat. Blink forward from Weekend. Back in goes Jake. And a double kill from Wowie will secure this fight for Obey. You still have got 3 members with the Fire Giant buff, and there are 3 people dead, Mifflin, on the Renegades for the next minute.
And the target that Renegades took was Wolfie. That's fantastic for stopping a team fight, but the team fight's over now. 3 dead on the side of Renegades, 40 seconds on the nearest spawn. 4 members completely healthy and strong on the side of Obey. They could easily go for the end here if Ducky could just zone off Barracuda.
Right.
This Titan could fall incredibly fast. It looks like they might be deciding to go towards that secondary Phoenix, but this is the best opportunity I think they're going to get.
Well, in go Obey. Sudden last-minute pivot now back to this mid-lane Phoenix. They'll be able to take it quickly. Wowie and Ducky both still alive. Venenu forced to dash away, and it is mid-lane Phoenix that ends up going down. It's only the Titans, don't worry, that are attacking the base. The Renegades will be able to easily clear those. Now let's turn our attention to this right side tower. There's a wave in the left lane that's now pushing in. Obey Alliance in a great spot. They're going to have now a 3rd open Phoenix. Still, what, 2 minutes left on this Fire Giant play. There are fire minions crashing into the base of the Renegades as we speak. It's Barracuda who's sent back to deal with those, so the Hunter will be out of this fight just for a little bit. Maybe that's the opening now for Obey. Stun in on the SOT, but Awesome Jake is there to save the day. Inbound has now transformed Lasbra to re-engage. Will he find the backline? Yes, he does. Double knock-up. 1 onto Wowie, 1 onto Wolfie. Wowie goes down, and it's Barracuda now that's under the eye of Ducky there, but Weekend ends up falling. Venenu's found himself a kill. SOT and Awesome Jake both low. Inbound playing frontline as maybe expect for Obey. 2 members down for Obey Alliance. Renegades lose Venenu in the mid lane, and it's Wowie and Weekend that end up falling. Couldn't have come a moment sooner. Half health now on your Titan thanks to the fire minions. Well, Ducky still stands only at 1 death, so he's 5-1-5 previously, now 7-1-6, so a couple of kills and an assist now added to Ducky's most recent streak here. We're at a state of equity in this game. All 10 players at level 20, all at completed builds, and it's now Renegades who look to engage. Wowie has taken too much damage, but Lasbra has found the kill onto Wolfie. Suddenly Wowie goes down as well. You have no more carries if you're Obeyed. Jake will try to make it 1 step worse. Finds the lockdown on the inbound, who will transform, but you don't gain health for doing that. Lasbra might be the sacrificial lamb here. Sometimes that's just your job. Ducky will swoop through, but it's 3 members down now for Obey. A brilliant fight, brilliant engagement from the Renegades.
50 seconds on the respawns. 3 members of Renegades are completely healthy. The one that isn't is your tank. They might look for the end here, show that maybe a little bit of brashness is needed to end out this match.
Yeah.
44 minutes in. I imagine they could look for it. They could also back up and take Fire John if they want to play safely, but no ultimates available on the side of Obey. This could very well be an end call.
Renegades may be feeling that way as well. Weekend hanging around the corner, has to blink defensively this time and will dash his way away as well. Titan under attack, but it's just SOT. Renegades have turned their eyes towards Weekend, who's now found his way towards Barracuda. Has a couple frontliners looking at him, but Barracuda puts Weekend in the dirt. Suddenly Ducky now is the one who's a bit out of position with 5 members of the Renegades sprinting at you. He's stunned down. He has no bat out of hell. He has no more time. SOT will find the kill, and that's got to be an FG call for the Renegades. Here we go. Maybe a siege in this middle lane. Awesome Jake pop the ultimate, find the engage in the backline. Seen this time and time and time again. Lasbra will swoop through. Wow, he gets deleted by Lasbra on the backside. My goodness, Obey. They've held control for so long. Inbound will retain it just a little bit longer. It's the mid lane Phoenix now down for Obey. Renegades limping away with 4 members. Obey defending with 4 members. But it's the mid lane Phoenix that ultimately falls in a 1-for-1 trade.
But look at Ducky hiding in the wings, trying to pick out Lasbra, but seems like it's going to turn on him.
Yeah, he's trying to swoop through now and get himself some kills. SOT a bit split off from the rest of the Renegades here. Venenu maybe coming to save the day. Barracuda with an open field for firing shots. Venenu getting in the kill column as well as Barracuda. SOT will up, down. That is Weekend, the last member alive. Mifflin, the Titan might just be taken by the minions, and the Renegades are going to get it done in 46.5 minutes.
Renegades do a fantastic job playing into an uphill battle the entirety of the match. They really showed some true grit there as they tried to reflect engagement after engagement on their own Titan. But my heart goes out to Obey, so close to that golden apple, but one moment of hesitation is all it takes for one of these top-tier teams to just rip a dub straight out of your hands.
It's the Terra to round out the draft here for Obey, so some slightly different looks, but a lot of the same here in game number 2.
Do you expect the same to be somewhat different, if that makes sense, or do you think Barracuda's fine with how game 1 went?
Well, I think you're exactly right to say that Barracuda is fine as he dives in on inbound now. He's going to fall low. Lasbra finds the first blood, and that's a little bit of the same from game 1. Again, this is the exact same start that we saw from Renegades. It's whether or not they can keep that aggression and not throw it away like they did against Obey in the last match with some of the counter rotations. Camazotz and Surcat can stop just about anyone else from living.
True. It's Awesome Jake now that has to be concerned about living. Wowie will break the Suns, and Awesome Jake will catch him. Obey Alliance strike back, just like game number 1. We are tied up here kill-wise, effectively even gold-wise.
And we already see Weekend start to rotate over towards that soul lane. This is exactly what you need to see from him. Abuse the fact that that tool is no longer available, and Ducky already bring the fight to him.
Wow, you're smart, Mifflin, aren't you? Stunned down onto SOT. That's the leap, but that's the counter leap and dash from 2 members of Obey. SOT will bring up the shield, but seems like a fruitless endeavor and just going to try to farm up a little bit extra here. Who gets the kill? It's Ducky this time around. And talk about worst case scenario for the Renegades. Ducky was a problem when even in the early game, and now he's got a kill.
Unfortunately, all the buffs are already dead. Lasbra's nowhere to be seen because his ultimate's down. Ducky's already putting aggression into that long or short lane. This is exactly what I love to see.
Jake is stunned down, and he's going to be taken down as well. There's some long lane presence from Obey, and that's another kill. Whereas it was a little bit more back and forth up to this point. Remember, Renegades had themselves a bit of a wider lead at this point in game number 1. Lasbra might learn the hard way that Ducky hurts with a kill. Bat out of hell strikes 2 out of 3, but Ducky didn't need all of it as he'll be able to bounce back and forth. Lasbra now down. Ducky with his second of the game. Well, just survive, says SOT. Maybe you've got another, maybe 8 minutes by Mifflin's estimations to get there. Wowie will be under duress as Awesome Jake has found his way into the back line, but the rest of Renegades are there to follow. Wowie deleted by Barracuda and the other 2 members of the Renegades that are there. Inbound will dash through, and Barracuda is somewhat low. inbound rather, somewhat low as Wolfie rotates over from the mid lane. Weaken and Venenu now doing battle over by the Gold Fury side. It's a stun down onto inbound. Can Barracuda find another? Yes, he can. Second of the game in a span of about 15 seconds in the Jingwei. Now starting to hit for the Renegades. Not dying quite as much. Now, can we say the same as Awesome Jake is rotating behind him? I'm not so sure. Wowie will try to move himself away, and the up and over he goes. Look at how much damage Barracuda is pouring into him. Obey, though, will rotate through. That's to the skies used. Lasper will drop down and get some damage onto Wowie, with Jake playing Gate Guardian here in the opening in the jungle. A slight collapse onto the back line, as you expect from Ducky, who will swoop through. Bat out of the hell, only needs 2 taps to get rid of the Ratatosker. Barracuda finds a crit, but it's just not enough to get rid of Wowie here in this fight. Weaken, though, catches one more crit from Barracuda before trading out thanks to the DOT. A 2-for-1 trade in favor of Obey could get worse now for the Renegades as Awesome Jake is low. Wolfie has no mana, though, so be careful here trying to re-engage. SOT, plenty of tanky, has some shielding as well. Up, down, he goes. Merlin back to the gray screen. A 2-for-2 trade. The fight continues, and now it's Ducky who might be under some duress.
They're immediately going to get a huge XP boon. They're likely going to be able to get a tier 1 tower off the tail end of it. If Obey take it, it's going to completely even out the game again.
Weaken will dash through, and Ducky will try to execute once more with the Bat Out of the Hell. Third tap isn't enough to do it, but the echo is, as Ducky will find his 4th kill of the game now. Hey, that's a tower, and that's also maybe a fight for Obey. It's Ducky. Where else but in the back line, and it's tier 1 tower that will be chipped away and eventually fall. So, full 5-man fight, not there, but Jake may be looking to re-engage. He's just in front of Wolfie and will make his way in with SOT in tow. Ducky now has Venenu and Barracuda looking at him, so there's not much damage in the front line of this fight for the Renegades. Jake taken very low. Nice junk down from Lasbra, catches down onto 3. Some shielding chipped away by Venenu. Underneath the tier 1 tower goes Awesome Jake. SOT is certainly there as well. Somehow, no kills yet in this one. With how low Wowie is, he's got to have 1 HP at this point. He's left alive, and it's still 5 men strong for the Renegades. Inbound now, maybe a little bit caught out as the rotation from the backside was there. Swooping through is Ducky. Where will the 3rd charge go? Well, it's down onto Barracuda, but it's the tier 2 tower that eventually falls.
I would love to know exactly how much health Wowie had there. Oh,
4!
Just got it in from production. Exactly 4 HP he lived with. That's insanely unlucky for Ven there. But overall, Renegades take it head over heels. They take the tier 1, they take the tier 2, trade out no lives, only really getting their own tier 1 taken in retaliation. But now that they have to back up, it gives Obey defensive positioning around this Pyromancer as it respawns. We'll see how it goes.
That's Weaken on the front line. Barracuda, a touch caught out, a nice double stun there. Looking like maybe from one of the front liners. First kill in this fight goes for Venenu. Barracuda chipping away at Ducky on the back line. Double kill for SOT. The Nike starting to swing here. Ducky doesn't have the cooldowns, but SOT has a triple. He's trying to move in. He's looking for 4. Barracuda takes it away, but it's a near clean sweep for the Renegades, and they might just go right down the mid lane. Without having Lasber, Renegades maybe not considering starting up a full-blown FG. Maybe a full-blown fight, though. This Awesome Jake moves into the back line. Barracuda is going to knock down some damage onto Ducky, who isn't feeling so clear to move on in. Lasbra from the tree branch will slam on down. Wowie ends up falling, and Wolfie does as well. No more carries now for Obey Alliance. Tier 2 tower is suddenly gone. 3 members left defending against 5 strong for the Renegades.
Bobby gets caught on a lazy back between his Phoenixes as well. Ducky, no ultimate available, so which means he won't be able to dive the backline nearly as easy. Renegades send over Lasbra to force someone to back. He uses the semi-global ultimate to win the fight because where's Weaken trying to stop a push that isn't happening anymore? Renegades primed and ready, looking at the door of the Titan.
They're not shying away. They want to take this 5v3, and they're going to get some good damage to boot. Lasbra will sun down onto inbound. One more shot from Barracuda is all they maybe needed. Venenu ends up getting rid of Weaken nonetheless. It's Titan down to half HP. Ducky desperately trying to stop the Renegades, but it won't be enough. The Renegades will swing twice in a row, this time a little bit quicker, and they'll take the set 2-0 over Obey.